It's 4 miles, but we can make it. I'll fly back on my oppressor. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. 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 Nice. I feel like everything always ends with eating me alive. That's what's up. Like FNAF, I'm ready. I'm trained, bro. I don't know, bro. FNAF is pretty fucking scary, bro. True. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hey, bro. I'm trying to protect you. You run my ass over and kill me. Bruh. Alright, you got this. I'm gonna go fuck around. Why can't my... Oh, there it is. Uh-huh. Yeah. feel like you're describing Sonic. Sonic.exe. Yes. I've dealt with many in my lifetime. It's been so long. I've dealt with so many SCPs that wipe my memories, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Hell yeah. I like that. Sounds fun. Oh. So just a typical American incel. Gotcha. Gotcha, bro. Oh, you got it. You got time. It only takes like 5 minutes to get there? Is it fine if I leave the lobby or will it like penalize you? Okay, okay. I'll stay then. Oh shit, yeah, I need to do that. I forgot we're in a public lobby. I feel like everyone's doing their business though. I don't know. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't know. I feel like it's getting more and more ridiculous, low key. Like I remember the back rooms when it was just the back rooms. Like, and there was just like, like there wasn't an entity per se. It was just like once you're in there, you're kind of just like you're gone, You know, you're lost. Like all those missing people that you see, like some of them probably went in the back rooms. Yeah, that's my favorite back rooms is like the one where it's just like a bunch of lost things. Like things can get out, but it's usually only inanimate things. Like when you lose your keys, like and then it shows up like right where you looked, like it fell in the back rooms and then it came back. It's just a glitch. Yeah, I'm sure there's that or fucking lost like baseballs or fucking lost anything. Yeah, I watch his film theory a lot. I would say a decent amount actually. I haven't. Yeah, yeah, true. It's also trippy to think about, dude. It's like, how do you know that like we aren't in a video game or like some type of simulation where like, wait, that like basically just started 2 seconds ago, and all your memories are like implanted like programs, like, and you just started breathing like 2 seconds ago, and like we all just activated like spawned in basically. That's a trip to think about. You'll never know if this is reality. No, but I know the concepts of it. Holy shit. How much did you get? How much did you get? Or from that sale, how much did you get?
Looks like it.
3.1 million? How? Well, how did you do that? Like in the first place? Yeah, how did you get that much money? Nice. What do you mean? Like who? Uh-huh. I mean, like in reality, like who have you seen has been like canceled or whatever? Like who? Like can you name one? Like I would know just so I can like get context for what you're talking about. Oh my god, I hate that guy. But yeah, I know
The
Keemstar.
unexpected. Sure.
Oh, he's been canceled. He's been like canceled, quote unquote. I don't know, for like lots of things that, in my opinion, probably justified. Like I don't know, like that dude is a douchebag. But go on. He's like, he's a moron, and he's also like a weirdo. He's like a predator. Like he's his assistant. Like she's like 19. He's like 30 something, almost 40. Or I think he's 45. I don't know. He might be old. He's weird, bro. That's not cool. But anyway, sorry, I kind of derailed your thing. You were saying Keemstar? I feel like, yeah, yeah, go on, yeah. Let me let you think. For sure, for sure. Oh, are you talking about the pink guy? Oh, he was never crazy. He was just playing like a character, you know? I don't know his name. He's like a music artist or something. Um, so when we, oh my god, I used to watch Leafy, but looking back, he was super cringe. Like, yeah. A lot of that, like, edgy or, like, offensive humor back in the day used to just be, like, oh, just blatant racism or just, like, blatant, I don't know. It's just not funny. I disagree. I think it's just, like, it's... like super, I don't know, it's just not funny. Like once you realize you're an adult and like you live in a real world, like saying like screaming the N-word just isn't funny. Like saying the N-word. Like I think that's unjustified. So with that, it's like if you don't atone for your past, like at least apologize and acknowledge like shit. But hey, look, it's like as a like if you are like so popular to the point where you have to apologize for something, like I think it's up you like made your bed and you have to sit in it. And if people don't like your apology, then they don't like your apology. Like, like you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like you signed up for the job and it's like if you aren't, straight up with shit, then people are gonna find out real quick. And that's why people get canceled. It's like because they try to act like one way, but they're really another way. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Like I feel like this term cancel is just so like it's meaningless because there's no meaning to it anymore. Because people say, "Oh, I'm being canceled for this" or "I'm being canceled for that," but it's like, are you like? It's like it's like a bunch of your fans saying like, yeah. I mean, I can't really because like, I mean, my definition personally would be like, okay, someone who gets canceled as in like, so they did something that their fan base or the public views as yeah, they just don't like whatever that thing that they did or said. Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's very rare though when it's like I don't really hear about any like quote unquote cancelings that are like that like matter or like I should give a fuck about. Like a lot of these times when people like artists or YouTubers or like politicians say like, "Oh, I'm getting canceled," it's like a way to like virtue signal and like just act like a victim. It's like, bitch, like grow up. Like you're mad because your fans are mad at you. Like I'm sorry, but like other people in real life have bigger things to deal with. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's become a thing where like people just use it as a way to get pity points. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like at a certain point. Oh yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah, but if you do that, if you go into it as a job and like let's say you've done some shit in the past that you know is not really good, it's like you gotta just realize that you're taking that chance of like if you don't come out with it and be like I did X and this is why I did it, and I'm sorry. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I think a lot of it's like a lot of the people who were posting it. Like, do you remember H3H3 or yeah, like he was like one of the more, I guess he was like he would work with more edgy content creators or whatever, like iDubbbz. Like iDubbbz is someone that has changed, I would say, but it's like for the better, for sure. Like, I mean, I'll be real with you. Like, I'm like, I don't know. It's just like that content where it's like just blatantly like racist, and like even if he says, "Oh, I'm not being racist," I'm just saying it ironically. It's like it still influences like so many people, and like you know, that's another word. That's another word that is like tainted. Is the word toxic, and it's like um people like.
I don't know. It's a strange one. Like toxic for me is like it's a word that is not really useful in in really like understanding what's the issue. It's just so broad, you know? Like when if you hear a YouTuber, oh, they're toxic. It's like okay, but like it's like the same thing with like getting canceled. Like what does that even mean anymore? Like what is toxic? Like I'll explain to you what my definition is, but I feel like everyone has a different definition at this point, you know, because everyone's on their teams nowadays. You know, everyone has a team to play for, and I'm like, I do too. I'm not lying. An ideological war, if you will, not a physical war. I mean, some people are in physical wars, obviously, but like for example, like I'm not like I would consider myself like an anti-capitalist. Do you feel me? And like I don't know, I am ideologically opposed to a lot of people, but I don't see them as my enemies per se. But a lot of people do see each other as enemies, you know? Like conservative people and like liberal people, like they see each other as enemies. Do you feel me? Oh, I'm still very much involved in politics. Like, I'm a very political person, but I'm not on those teams. I'm outside on the good team, basically. Like, so yeah, I mean, like, so. Oh, I'm not. I voted for Joe Biden, and I've never voted for a Republican. I'll be straight up with you right there. And I probably wouldn't vote for a Republican. And I don't know if I'll ever vote for a Democrat again, bro. Because I mean, I probably will just because I'm forced to. Oh. Yeah. You know what's trippy? So like I don't like Joe Biden. I'll be right off straight off the bat. I don't like Joe Biden. Like you want to talk about canceling? Okay. So people do things that are bad in the past, right? And you said like, "Oh, you know, times are different, you know." Well, I don't know. It's like some things I feel like it's so hard to distance yourself from. Like Joe Biden, I think he voted for like segregation, you know? Like segregation between the races, like black people and white people, which is a that's pretty bad. Um, and I still voted for him, but I'll explain to you why I did. I mean, I personally don't know if Joe Biden's beliefs about black people or you know, like different races has changed. I don't know if he's less racist now or if he is hiding it all, you know. But I voted for him because like basically in this country we have a two-party system, right? And both the guys are usually horrible people, you know. Both the presidents are usually horrible people, and it's just like a matter of determining who's the least horrible. At least that's how I've seen it, which sucks because it's like we live in the land of the free, but we only have two parties to pick from. You get what I'm saying? It's weird. Yeah, a lot of the people in the like the quote unquote founding fathers, they believe like that there shouldn't be political parties, you know? But there are. Yeah. It was also like back then also you're thinking like you got to think about it like these are slave owners, these are landowners. These aren't the people. Like these aren't quote unquote the people. Like we the people by the people, like the people are not those people who wrote that document. Those were all wealthy landowners and like one of those. Yeah, the Constitution. Yeah, there's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it's been what, almost 300 years since that, and I think we still have the same issues today that we did back then. You know? Like, I think we still have slavery today. I believe that. You know, because if you look at the prison population of America, like, dude, we have more people in prison. Yeah, I think it's so difficult because we're like humans are so like tribalized and like we love building nations and shit, and like that's just another form of a tribe. Um, right now it is. I mean, I feel like nature is malleable, you know, right? Like a river doesn't always wind the same way, and I think human nature changes over time. Like I think right now, yes, the nature of most men is to conquer and to pillage and to destroy the land around them, but I think we can cultivate a better, yeah, I think we can cultivate a better like human race though if we really tried. Cause like I don't think we're trying right now, you know? Well, that's political inherently. If you think about it, everything's political. Everything. Everything. Like even Taco Bell, you can somehow find a way to talk about it politically, right? Cause like I don't know, I could probably think of a way, but it's kind of boring. I don't know, fuck Taco Bell. But you get what I'm saying. All right, so I bet you the owner of Taco Bell, like all the revenue he gets from like you and me when we go eat there, he probably spent like saves it and spends it on basically it's on giving it to the government and basically like bribing people. And what we call that in America is called what's it called? There's a phrase for it. I'm fucking blanking on it. It'll come up, but it not bribe. It's basically called bribery, but in America we call it a different thing. It's like sponsoring your politicians, you know? Like you can basically give money to politicians in America. It's like we have a different word for it so it doesn't sound bad, but um, you know, it's the same thing, right? Like we have big corporations that will give the government money so the government will do certain things, you know? And like that's legal. And I don't know why that is. I think in a way, yeah, but it can be cleansed, you know? More than it is now. For sure it can be cleansed more than it is. It's like if you look at it like a car that's never been washed, it's like of course it can be like washed. But like if that car has been sitting out in the sun for 50 years and it's been picked of all its parts. But hear me out. Listen to what I'm trying to say. Like if you have a car that's broken down and it has a bad wash job, is the wash job going to fix the car? No. It's the whole system that needs to go. That's what I advocate for. It's rotten from the core, you know? Fuck, I hope so too, but I don't think, I don't know, I don't think they will. Me neither. I think we're gonna see another war soon. I mean, we're already seeing something happen, like Russia, all that shit, you know? If, when, it's when the robots. Like, they're already putting machine guns on those robot dogs. Have you seen that? Like, those robot dogs that the Boston, University was building, and they said, like, oh, we promise we'll never put guns on these. Yeah, there's video of them with guns on them. Yep. And the New York police already tried to introduce them like last year, and then they quote unquote got canceled for it for a good reason. Obviously, it's like who wants robot dogs to fucking invade your house? Yeah, I mean, I feel like yeah, it's a bad world, but I think if you know the good side wins at the end of if a war happens, which I think it will happen, honestly, like I think I don't know. I think World War III's coming. I'm sorry to say, bud, but you're probably gonna be on the front lines. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. What, you're what, 11? You better hope the World War starts now and ends when you turn 17, so you don't have to fight. I'm already in the draft. Like, you know how you get to sign up for that shit? Have you heard of that shit? Like, every male has to do that. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And with like it's just crazy that like we were born here and like we didn't, first of all, we didn't even get a choice to be born here, and then second of all, they're making us sign up for the army. Like, what? POV, you're American in 1945 and you just turned 18. Bro, it would be even worse if it was like 1944. Welcome to D-Day, bitch. You're in the first wave of Normandy Beach. Good luck, son. Because they were fighting the Nazis. I think people were still drafted in World War II, for sure, for sure. But like it was also like you were fighting the Nazis, you know? Like the worst of the worst, you know? Yeah, true. I mean, the Japanese are basically not like they were basically Nazis, like pretty much. I mean, they still are like pretty close to Nazis. Like their country's super racist still today. Like if you look at their like no, no. It's Japan is super racist, like ethnocentric. Like they really only like accept Japanese people or super wealthy people. Like they don't like they really hate immigrants there. Like it's crazy how racist they are. Because those American people are probably rich, like YouTubers. I mean, depends. I don't know. If they're saying they're Josmos, I wouldn't believe them. Like you have to be super fucking wealthy to live in Japan if you're like an immigrant. Like just to get a passport, like, bro, like you have to up like a lot of money. And if you do go there as like just like a Joe Schmo, like shit, good luck. It's like America, but like not as bad, you know, but pretty bad. Hey, what'd you say? Oh, really? So you're an immigrant, pretty much. Oh, your parents are. You were born in America, or? I mean, I don't care. Oh yeah, in are you talking about the country you're from, or America? Oh, which one was it again? Oh, Balkans, bro. Dude, yeah, like the Balkans have had lots of troubles, like lots of wars, bro. That's crazy. That's interesting. Yeah, bro. Oh yeah, dude, I want to go. I want to go before like the war starts. See, I believe in eliminating all borders so we can just travel freely and go like to Albania, you know? Honestly, it's not compared to now, yeah, it's utopia. Like, do you think the cavemen thought that like sitting in their caves while the fucking rain drizzled outside and they were just wearing like the fucking woolly mammoth coats? Do you think they ever imagined in their fucking tiny pea brains that we would be having like rockets that went to the fucking moon? They didn't even know what the moon was, bro. Like, imagine what's gonna happen in just 50 years. Like, you feel me? If if we leave the system of capitalism, I think we might. Honestly, I think we might. I think communism's great. It's just like people are so afraid of it, like of like the word. So I think people are just gonna have to find a new word for it. Cause like, dude, this is what I believe. So, dictatorship is not a tenet of socialism or communism. That's like when you think of dictatorships, you're thinking of like I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of Stalin, and like that wasn't a communist. Yeah, but he wasn't a communist. He was a capitalist. He was a fascist. So no, I'm talking about Hitler. Hitler was not a communist. He hated the communists. He hated the communists. And do you know why he hated the communists? Because he saw them as his greatest enemy, and he killed them first. So when Hitler was rising to power, much like today, you know how like celebrities and like news outlets like make fun of Trump and shit, and like they mock him and shit. Back then, like they were mocking Hitler, like oh he would never like he's like a joke, you know. And this is before like he like the burning of the Reichstag and like him taking over and everything. Like he killed all those people who were criticizing him first, you know, and they were the communists, they were the leftists, because those are the people criticizing him the most. And then he went after the gay people, then he went after the Jewish people, he went after the gypsies. But that's what they don't tell you is like he went specifically for communists first because or and socialists because socialists are diametrically opposed to fascism. Like yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I that's why I worry today. It's like cuz like Hitler when he did a coup to take over, you know, Germany. the Weimar Republic. He did a coup, but his first attempt didn't work. It failed. But then the next time he tried it, it worked. And in America, we just saw a coup attempt like 2 years ago or like a year ago. And it's like, what's gonna happen again? Are we gonna see history repeat again? Is there gonna be another coup? And is Trump gonna take over? Or is there gonna be some other fascist guy? Like, that's what's scary to think about. It's like, that's what I think about. That's what I lay awake at night thinking of, bro. I very much worry for this country and for the world. Scary times, bro. Always. Bro, I worry that nukes are gonna fly all the time. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. Every day I think about it. I mean, do you live close to the coast or like near a big city? You might survive the nuclear apocalypse if it happens. You know? Because I mean, if you're saying you're up north, then I don't know, you might be pretty far away from like a military base or like military targets and shit, you know? Like nearby? Like how close? Yeah, it's just scary. Like, I don't know, nukes scare me, bro. Like the fact that there's like so many of them. That's that's scary to me, you know? I think in order to get the future that you want, which is like humans traveling the multiverse and like proliferating life across the universe and multiverse, then we need to eliminate the things that will destroy life. Like nukes. Like we need to get rid of nukes. And we need to do that as fast as possible. We also have to fix the wrongs of the past as well. Like all the countries that we've exploited, we need to bring them up to a good standard. True. Like, when slavery was ended, um, like the freed slaves were promised I think it was like 40 acres, 40 acres of land and a mule, and instead they paid the slave owners for their lost property when the slaves were freed. The U.S. government paid the slave owners instead of giving what they promised to the slaves. And that's why you see like black people today still asking for reparations. Like that's what that's all about. Like it's not about fucking, oh, it's black people are lazy or this or that or they just want welfare. It's like there's things like when your fucking family, like there are black people alive today who have great grandparents that were slaves or like great great grandparents that were slaves. And if you think that doesn't affect their lives, that, like, come on, that does. Like being a fucking slave, like that recently, bro, like the 1800s were not that long ago. You know what I mean? Like less, 100 and something, you know? That's 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 a couple human lifetimes. That's like a whisper away. Like someone told a story to someone who's probably alive today, you know? It's fucking nuts, bro. Fucking nuts. Like there was a guy on TV like who saw Abraham Lincoln get shot. Like he was on an interview. He was like 90 something, you know? Like yeah, it's crazy. That makes you realize. Yeah, he said he was like 5 or 6, but like seeing something like that, you remember that, you know? It's just crazy. Like it makes you realize how like these things in time that people say, "Oh, racism is over," or "This is over, that's over." It's like, nah, like things. Yeah, and like people who are just affected, by the past still, you know? Yeah. I think a lot of I think a lot of people just need to get on, you know, common sense type bullshit. Like I think this is what I think, like what the government should be like, right? It should ensure that everyone on the earth, like I want there to be a one world government, you know? Everyone on the earth is provided clean water, you know? Clean water, like food, good food, and all that's free. Like this all free. And then housing, because like everyone needs a house, everyone needs somewhere to live. It doesn't have to be a house, it can be an apartment, it can be whatever. Everyone needs that for free. I think it's like it should just be like, dude, it should be everyone, it's for free. And the thing about this, all the things that you need are free, but all the things that you want are not. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's still gonna be innovation because people are never just gonna want to sit inside all around, you know? Well, of course there's gonna be things to pay for. So like what I mean is like it's gonna come out of your check, right? It's gonna be like basically think about this, right? Right now we have 1% of the population that owns like what 99% of the wealth, some crazy shit like that. Like think about that. Like 1% owns like that much wealth. And if they were to spread that and give that to everyone, everyone would have a good like actually an awesome fucking standard of living. That's like but people don't want to like accept that because it's reality because those people who are at the 1% who have so much, they can't have that unless someone's starving, unless someone's on the street. You feel me? There's no like you can't have a huge pile of acorns without a squirrel that doesn't have a pile of acorns. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's just common logic. Like the best logic would be just to spread it, you know? That's a start to global, yeah. That's the start to global society. The UN needs to be like, yeah, I agree with you. Totally. It needs to be buffed. Like right now, the UN has no meat. You know, like yes, it's a thing, but like not every country's on it, and it's not really like taken seriously. Do you get me? Yeah, and there needs to be a thing called like common law, where it just there's common law that goes across countries, where it's like you can't have like one country that has the fucking age of consent to be like 13 and one country where it's fucking 21. You know, it has to be like 21 across the board or something, or 18, whatever it's decided upon. Obviously not below 18, but I should honestly it should be like 21 across the board. Because like there's countries right now, dude. There's countries right now that's like they allow 13-year-olds. It's like insane, bro. Like it's just like our globe is so fucked with like crazy laws and crazy governments. Like that needs to be fixed. Like shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, like I agree. Like so democracy is not in any way, diametrically opposed to communism. Like there's like communism entails democracy. Like when you think about socialism, when I think about socialism, I think about democracy in its purest sense, right? So in our country, we don't have democracy. We have a representative government, with, you know, I don't know. It's complicated because it's like they're not really voting on our interests because they have all these donors, you know, that can sway their interests. It's not like they can't. They're not being honest, you know.
In order to make a good government, there you have to deal with corruption. You have to deal with corruption. You have to make a system that's pure, a system that's good, you know?
Yeah, and like the system, I agree with you. The system has to be pure, and it also has to be constantly checked itself that it's being like there needs to be oversight, is what I'm saying. Like the only way we can make sure there isn't corruption is there needs to be oversight. The public needs to know everything, you know? Like there should not be anything that is like hidden per se. Do you get me? Some top secret shit that yeah, if it's like world if it gets out in the wrong hands it could end the world or something or get a lot of people killed, sure, yeah, that obviously. But like things like I don't know, like you know how like people in Congress they can like trade stocks and shit and make like a fuckload of money? Like that needs to be illegal. That's criminal. If you did that and you weren't a congressperson, that would be called like insider trading, which you go to jail for, you go to prison for. Because the Congress people know when things are going to happen, when laws are going to pass, and they know that oh, this is going to affect the business that that I'm investing in. So that's what happened during COVID. A bunch of Congress people made a fuck ton of money because they knew COVID was about to hit America, so they bought a bunch of stock, and just so I happened to make a bunch of money. How did I do that? I'm just a good investor. The reality is they knew like shit was gonna happen before it happened. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but a regular Joe like you and me, let's say we walked into Apple, right? And the Apple guy told you like, oh, the stocks are gonna go up on Friday. Buy now. If the feds found out that he told you that, you go to prison, right? Because you're not part of the big boys club. Like, you're not part of the in club of people who are corrupt, who got each other's back. Because those are, the people in government who are like that, they all got each other's back. Because it's just like a power grab, you feel?
The thing about having like one government with like every single like state, country, whatever, is that once
Yeah, I agree. I think we get to that point, and I think after that we should strive to a point where we get to a moneyless society. Because if you think about it in a logical sense, right? There's so much like effort and time put into like just like accounting and shit like that, right? Like imagine if we had a voucher system, which is like it's basically everyone has like vouchers to do like whatever. Like it's like you can use it wherever.
bring back some trading, you know?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I think trading will always exist in a communist or socialist society or a society that's even fascist that will still exist, you know? Trading is something that's like human nature, I think. But there's going to be exploitative trading, right? Like countries like America or China or even Russia, like they'll go into a smaller country and they'll be like, "Oh, I'll trade you X amount of money," and then but in reality they'll be taking way more in the amount of resources. They're taking all the wealth that that country has and giving them pennies. You know what I'm saying? They're just extracting the wealth for themselves. So it's like some trading is just predatory. That's why we need like regulations and shit, like rules. Like a one world government needs to have lots of rules.
Like there should still be money, but like one that's universally accepted, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It would be dope, man. It would be dope.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such a pipe dream though, like with everything that's happening right now.
Yeah, like, and we never know how that would play out. There's always the bad bunch that sticks out and ruins things, you know?
Yeah,
Because,
true.
like, in a way, there can never truly be a perfect society, you know?
No, yeah, exactly. That's why you're always striving to get to something better.
Yeah,
Always.
strive to survive and dodge the dog roll, you know?
Yep.
Dodge the dog roll.
Have you seen Star Trek? Have you heard of it?
I've seen a couple episodes, but I haven't watched all of them.
So basically, I'm gonna explain it really quick. So like it's like basically what we're describing is like the future that we want is in that Star Trek show. And in that show, basically what happens in the past, like lore of the show, it's like Earth, it was like our Earth, you know, divided nations, all that shit. And then we went to this big war and like we like I think there was like a nuclear holocaust, there was like genetic warfare, and then after all that happened, we finally united, and it was like pretty much a socialist like utopia. Like it was a socialist utopia in the show, and like that's how they got to the point where they're traveling between stars because it's like a one world government. Like that's how they're sending all these starships out. Yeah, like a lot about it. True. A lot of with the Star Trek thing is like if it was like America today, like the Star Trek ship would pull up to a planet and they would land and just start killing people and then take all the things that are valuable and leave. Yeah, but you know, in the show, it's a lot more like think of it like a scientist or like a documentary person just like observing and learning shit, you know? Because I think humans are more, you know, like that in nature. I think people turn to like violence and brutish behavior when that's what their environment is, you know? Yeah. Everyone's different. Yeah. It's like, do you want, it's just like, it's all about having an open mind, but also knowing when to not close it off per se, but to like, to criticize, you know, things that you know, just sound, you know, like something you should criticize, you know? As long as you don't take it too far, like just criticizing the way someone looks or something stupid like that. Yeah, I think we're in the bad timeline right now. Like I really wish it was better, man. I don't know. Cause I don't even see myself being able to move out. What up? Like I was there with Shaq. Yeah, he was like my like chauffeur for some reason. Like he was like driving me around, or yeah, I don't know why, but like, and there was like a big city in the forest. Like obviously it's a dream, doesn't make sense, but like it was just weird, just really trippy, man. Like dreams like that, like do you ever have that? If a dream that comes out of nowhere, it's just like super realistic, but also super like weird as fuck. Jesus. Go in that order. Yeah, bro. That's funny. Yeah, you're like a baby pretty much. So you watched on your phone?